Hey everyone, my name is Sean Arnold and welcome to another episode of Subscriber Showdown. Today I'm playing against Little Dree234. Little Dree contacted me after our duel while I was doing some online ranked matches and said that he was a fan of the channel and therefore, I just had to put our gameplay up on the internet. So shout out to you Little Dree and yeah, let's get into today's footage. So started off with my turn going first. I played Gravekeepers Commandant to search out Necker Valley. Then I played Pot of Duality to excavate the top 3 cards in my deck. And now I'm going to grab Royal Tribute. Royal Tribute is a fantastic card to have on turn 1 with a Gravekeepers deck. Even at limit, it's limited to 1. It's really great to just try and still put it in your Gravekeepers deck because the effect of it is very strong. And here's how it works. Little Dree knows how it works, so he's sending me a message saying LOL GG already, thinking that this is going to be it. How it works is while Necker Valley is on the field, both players must discard all monsters in their hand. And that way I get to see his entire hand. And he's got 2 Upstart Goblins and 2 Forbidden Lances. Not the greatest of hand, but as I can see now, I managed to discard one of his Fire Kings. Now I would normally be very worried about putting a Fire King in the graveyard because they have a variety of ways of being revived. But with Necker Valley on the field, I might be able to keep it at bay, so fingers crossed I won't be too worried about the Fire Kings. Over to Little Dre's first turn now. I'm going to have to say Little Dre. I can't say Little Dree. I just can't remember that. Well, Little Dree's not bad. And Upstart Goblin is going to allow him to give myself 2,000 life points and let him draw 2 new cards. Great card for filling decks. And now he's going to go into Pot of Duality, excavate the top 3 cards of his deck. And that is Dark Hole, Supply Squad, 2 very good cards for a Fire King deck, and Fire King Avatar Garunix. Now, for those who don't know, Fire Kings have this gimmick of reviving themselves from the graveyard. They like to be destroyed. The idea is about being reborn in fire, like phoenixes. And so running effects like Supply Squad, which gives you extra cards to draw when a monster is destroyed, or cards like Dark Hole, work really well in a Fire King deck. I might have to actually try one of these later on in the future if time permits me to. Now my opponent plays Fire Formation Tenki, and Tenki is going to allow him to search out one of their best cards, the Beast Warrior Fire King something Barong. I can't remember the whole name of it, but it is one of their bit of a beat sticks in the deck. And now he's going to just set up some cards on his field, and now he's going to end his turn. My turn here, I'm going to have to play a little bit defensively, I feel like if I play too carelessly against a Fire King deck, I am going to lose in the long run because they do benefit from being destroyed. They don't really care about destruction effects much, or really you never really want to destroy a Fire King because it usually works out in their favour. And yeah, so no, I'm going to just try and mill from my deck, or excavate from my deck and search out whatever resources I can get. Skill Drain not really going to help me much in this situation, but Gravekeepers Commandant absolutely will. I'm going to be able to send that to the graveyard and search out another copy of Necker Valley. Great way for filling out my deck and just keeping my deck count low so to get some of those key cards quicker. And now I'm going to use Gravekeepers Steel. It's Gravekeepers Steel or Gravekeepers Stelly. I'm going to say Steel. Gravekeepers Steel, maybe that. Gravekeepers Steel. I'm going to be able to add 2 Gravekeepers cards from my graveyard to my hand. And it is naturally not affected by Necker Valley. Great way to get a quick +1 and recover some of those cards that you may have lost. But at the time being, I don't really want to add too many copies of Necker Valley to my hand. So I'm just trying to decide what I'm going to do here. First, I'm going to just attack my opponent's face down card. Let's poke and see what it is. In the previous video, I explained how Gravekeepers Recruiter is a really good card for attacking with because he doesn't really care about being destroyed. Kind of like the Fire Kings in this sense. He ran into Garunix, who has the same defense as his attack. So an even trade there. But at least I now know what that face down card is. And so now it's over to Little Dre's turn, sorry. And let's see what he's going to do in this turn. I'm probably going to guess that he's going to summon Barong. Barong is a easy common card to summon. And it has a variety of effects. Which mostly activate either when a Fire King is destroyed on the field or when it is destroyed itself. But no, none of that's going to really matter for the time being. He's just going to swing. And because of Fire King Formation Tenki, Barong is now chilling at 1900 attack, which is going to easily go over my Gravekeeper. So I'm going to let him destroy Recruiter. And I'm not really too worried about the life point loss there because my life points are so high above the norm already. So now I'm going to search out a different card from my deck. Now it's got to be careful. I've got to really try and think what would be the best card to use in this situation. And at this point in time, it's really going to come down to my spell and trap cards to really kind of stop my opponent from making these big plays. Really could do with a Vanity's Emptiness in this situation. Vanity's Emptiness would really be helpful. So I'm just going to keep playing defensively and waiting until I can draw into something which is really good. So at this point in time, I could go ahead and attack and destroy Barong through battle, but Barong benefits by being in battle, and if he has any Fire King monsters in his hand, destroying Barong or Garunix really isn't going to help me too much. So I've got to really kind of play smart here. So I summon out Gravekeepers Recruiter, and now I'm thinking about using Mask Change 2. Mask Change 2 would be great to use in this situation because any of my opponent's Fire Kings that are destroyed will no longer be sent to the graveyard, and if I'm correct, that will shut down some of their plays. I know it will stop one of their key cards, the Big Bird, whatever that one's called. I think it's called a Phoenix. It would stop that one from coming back from the graveyard if it's been banished anyway, so that would be really helpful. But we'll soon see. Gonna keep Mask changing around. I'm gonna just try and react to my opponent's play. You can just use it anytime you want to, but because it's a quick play spell, you can wait until they've done an effect to, or done some kind of play where you can just turn it back against them. Okay, my opponent now summons Yugioh, another Fire King with 1800 attack. Again, 2 beat 6 on the field. It's hard for me to decide at this point what's best to do. I could use Recruiter and go into Dark Law, but that's really the only play I can really make in this situation. So, but I'm going to give it a try nonetheless. Mask Change 2. Let's discard Commandant, because I don't really need to search out Necrovalley anymore. And I might need Descendant's Destruction effect later on. And now I'm going to send Recruiter to the graveyard and special summon Dark Law. Let's see if Dark Law will be able to hit the field, and he does successfully. And now Gravekeepers Recruiter is going to activate. And then I'll be able to search out something from my deck to my hand. Unfortunately, I completely forgot that my opponent had Forbidden Lance. They had 2 copies of that in their opening hand. And now Forbidden Lance is going to make Dark Law weak enough to be run over in attacks by his Fire King monsters. So really this was not the best of plays. I completely forgot he had that quick play spell around. And should have remembered that. So take that as advice when you're playing games. Make a note of what your opponent has if you find the opportunity to see what their resources are. A lot of players, when they are playing in real life or in the tournament, they keep a notepad with them and they write down any kind of plays their opponent makes, any cards their opponent searches out. They make a note of it down, and I think that's perfectly legal. I think that's what they do. It's never something I've really ever done in my life. Sometimes when I used to play on Dueling Network, I used to do that a little bit by opening up a notepad and just typing it on there. But regardless of how you do it, just try to make a note and keeping a good idea of what your opponent has. So here, this is another bad situation. I'm probably going to hit another Forbidden Lance, but without realizing it. Yes. Really not quite sure what I was aiming for there, but managed to get rid of the other one. And now I'm just going to play defensively. At the very least, Gravekeepers have good defense with some of their monsters. And in the current situation, my opponent won't be able to run over them with the Fire King, so I will be able to defend for a little bit and hopefully get a couple more draws out of it. But it's hard to say. In this situation, not really got the best of cards in my hands, not really being the best of draws, but it's not all lost. So let's see what Little Dre is going to do for this turn. Little Dre, sorry, I'm going to keep on getting that mixed up. Sorry, I keep thinking of Dr. Dre. I can't think of nothing else. Little Dre 234 is thinking about his plays, trying to decide what would be the best way to be more offensive. So let's see what he's going to come up with. There's many things he could do. He has tons of destruction effects in his deck, so maybe he can play something like a Dark Hole, who knows. Okay, so Recruiter is going to be able to block that attack, do 100 damage to my opponent through battle. Let's see if he does anything else. At this point, I'm wondering whether he's now going to use his extra deck, maybe make a rank 4 play. But sometimes Fire Kings really like to keep their Fire King monsters around because they can trigger other effects. So yeah, no, just as I thought, he's not going to actually do anything else. and he's just gonna wait it out. Due to skill drain, as I said before, skill drain really doesn't help against Fire Kings. It can help against Phoenix sometimes, but skill drain really doesn't help too much here. And I think it's after this game here which I decided to myself, I really actually don't want skill drain in this Gravekeeper deck. Initially I was thinking it can be maybe good to kind of stun an opponent, but there's not enough defense in this current build on my Gravekeepers deck, and skill drain at this point is going to have to come out. I'm going to have to use some other form of negation, such as maybe Phoenix Chain, which can actually stop my opponents from attacking and keep monsters alive, which you want to do sometimes for Gravekeepers so that they can get to their rank 4 box. Fortunately, I managed to hit Royal Decree with Gravekeeper Descendant, and by attributing a Recruiter, I should now be able to search out another card from my deck. And now I'm going to grab Gravekeeper's Heretic. Gravekeeper's Heretic is not strong enough to destroy anything. I'm hoping Descendant will be able to chill around for a while and survive with his 2000 attack. Hopefully my opponent won't find a way to run over it, but we will soon see. So over to the 10th turn of the duel, and Little Dree's drawing another card. It's 4 cards in the field, 3 cards in his hand. Some of his Fire Kings in the graveyard, which will be able to be brought back later on if he gets rid of Necro. He's got a good, comfortable setup here. And now he plays Raigeki. Raigeki's under Destroy Descendant, and I'm going to take some damage this turn for sure. Let's see if he decides to summon anything else, or is he just going to swing. Destruction effects really seem to have really lost their value in Yu-Gi-Oh! There's just too many cards in this day and age which really don't care about being destroyed. Either they're immune to it, they can't be targeted, or when they are sent to the graveyard, they just set up more plays in the future. And it's a shame. It's a really weird thing that the natural element of destroying your opponent's card is now something you should not do, when that's really how the game is played. It's kind of weird for a game to be like this, in my opinion. It's like, that's your goal, but your goal is to not work towards your goal. I don't know. It's really weird. But there are other forms of getting monster removal in this day and age. The best form of monster removal in the 2016 environment is shuffling back into the deck. Castell's very good for that. Drowning Mirror Force is really good for that. Effects which just take cards and put them back into the main deck is really the way to go, because banishing them and sending them to the graveyard, depending on what you're playing against, is pretty much always a no-no. Especially something like Cosmos. Cosmos don't really care where they get sent in if it's the graveyard of banished power. Alright, kind of stuck here against my opponent right now. I don't have a monster which is big enough to protect myself from those Fire Kings, but I have no choice but to play one on the field, because if I don't, I'm going to lose this turn. So I summon Heretic, even though he's going to get stomped this turn, and I just gotta hope that I can survive long enough to draw into something bigger. But it's really not the best of situations right now. This has been a bit of a bad duel on my part, for making mistakes like destroying the Feminine Allowances, forgetting that they were even on the field for one was a really bad idea, and just really not building any momentum at all. Okay, managed to destroy Garunix with by attacking it with Gravekeeper's Heretic. It's now going to activate its effect because it was destroyed, and but I don't think it's going to be able to get anything off of it. Oh yes, it will. It'll be able to search out another Barong from the deck to the field. So really didn't really help by destroying that, to be honest with you. Probably would have been better just to leave it. But this is kind of going to bring us to the end of the game. I feel it's going to, you know, I've got nothing to really stop my opponent from just attacking me this turn and swinging for game. But we'll see. We will see. Vikings, very durable, very solid archetype. They just have a ton of resources which are available to them. It's a shame I don't get to see them more often. I would love to try them sometime and just see what they're good at and what they're lacking in, because I really don't know what their weaknesses are. There are ways to play around their plays, but is there like what are they missing? You know, my opponent does play a little bit cautious. He's a little bit worried about my cards, so he does play one wrong in defense. But I'm going to lose still 2,000 damage this turn. So I'm going to have about 1,800 left, and it's going to really come down to this next turn. If I don't draw into something good, then that's really game. A Gravekeeper Spy would be fantastic at this point in time because he have a really great defense. Drew into Pot of Duality, gonna play it instantly and dig through my deck and see what I can get my hands on. Please let it be something good, please let it be something worth using. VE, not really useful in this situation. Skill Drain, again, really not useful in this situation. Skill Drain's gotta go. And Allure of Darkness. Allure of Darkness could have helped me if I had a Gravekeeper in my hand to banish with it. But I'm going to have to play lucky. I've got no other plays. If I don't play it, I'm going to lose anyway. So I'm going to play Allure of Darkness. But Allure of Darkness has a downside. You get to draw one card, and you have to banish one dark monster from your hand. But if you don't get banish one card from your hand, you have to discard your entire hand. That can be really, really bad. So fingers crossed. Let's see what we draw. We got nothing. No cards at all. And that's it. That's going to be game there. I've got no resources. I've got no way to stop my opponent from swinging at me. I love that sometimes. I've got to keep this in mind with Gravekeepers. Gravekeepers, when I rely on floodgates like Vanity's Emptiness and Skill Drain too much, they really have no defense. And here's me just sending a message to Little Dree saying good game to him because he's got this. He played really, really well. Just simple beatdown for the win. And sometimes simple beatdown is all you need, you know. So yeah, no, good game to you, Little Dree. Thank you very much for playing me, dude. It was an honor, and hopefully you enjoyed our matchup. And I would love to rematch you again sometime, you know, just to see how we do it in more games. So feel free to send me an invite on PSN anytime you want to play again. And that goes to anyone else who watches this video. If you want to play me and be in a video,